Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with this week's vlog series. I just want to welcome everybody and hope you're having a good week. Today's background photo is of a lookout point looking over S Bend in the Youghiogheny River in the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania. I will include a little write-up about it that I found online, and you can find out about it for yourself. It's a beautiful place on Pennsylvania State Game Lands that is a wonderful place to visit. It's a little hike in, but it's definitely worth the view is awesome and breathtaking. Anyway, let's continue on. So today, the first vlog this week, we're going to continue our forging friendships today. Today, we're going to talk about the 10 signs of an unhealthy relationship. I'm gonna preface that reading by saying this is number 10 in my forging friendships relationships vlog series. Why I'm certainly no expert but being in my mid-30s, I do have some insight to share about relationships with my community. My intention is to share insight and knowledge on topics of relationships, and whether they're for dating or as a friendship issue, and what are common issues that autistics face today. So without further ado, we're going to get into what are some unhealthy traits of a relationship or of a friendship. Sometimes we confuse that with toxic friendships, and that's a whole other thing. But they're kind of related, but they're kind of not. They're just sometimes they're just not related, and that's okay. It's just sometimes they're not related, and sometimes they can interact with each other too, where something that may be unhealthy may also be toxic, and it may be destroying of the person. But you have to realize what works for you, and you have to realize what is what is healthy for you. So I want to share really quick what some signs are of a toxic relationship, and then we'll get more into what is an unhealthy. So one of those things of one thing that you can know is a toxic sign is lying on a regular basis, taking advantage of your kindness. They don't respect your boundaries. I had that issue many times. It was a big red flag. They manipulate you in order to get what they want and not consider what you want. They put you down. They don't encourage you to pursue your goals. They don't want to see you move on. They want to see you dwell in the trenches with them. They don't consider other people's feelings or needs, such as yourselves. They feel entitled. They're frequently angry. They can be frequently angry or aggressive, but that may not always be the case. They rarely apologize for the actions, or they blame others, or don't take responsibility for their actions. They drain your energy. They have a lot of drama or problems but they don't want to change. They don't want to admit they have a problem, and they don't want to change it. They think the rules don't apply to them, or they talk and don't listen. Those are all, one or any of those above signs that I mentioned, are signs of a toxic friendship. And sometimes when they're toxic, you have to realize, is it really good for you? Is it good for your mental health? Is it good for can you live day to day and experience what you're experiencing and not be out of stress and not be under stress while you have to handle all your personal life challenges while carrying on this extra baggage that it seems to be that when the load is heavy, and they're putting use to you, and you're not getting nothing in return, or you're not being or they're not holding their part, or they don't consider your needs, and they're putting you under a lot of pressure. So those are some things to consider as far as toxic that can be unhealthy. Now, if we move on to now we're going to move on to what is unhealthy. So what is unhealthy? And one of the things that is unhealthy is the intensity. When someone expresses extreme feelings, over the top behavior that feels overwhelming, when things get too intense, it feels like something is rushing the pace of the relationship, such as coming on too strong or too fast, and seems obsessive about wanting to see you and be in constant contact. That is a sign It is a big red flag that the relationship is unhealthy, and you'll know that often on. But you know, they really just want somebody to feed into their attention and be there for them and be there to comfort them. That can be a problem. Now, some people do enjoy, the cuddling and the baby thing, but it's all in what you want to believe. Number two is possessiveness. When someone is jealous to a point where they try to control who you are, who you spend time with, and what you do. Well, jealousy is a normal human emotion. It becomes unhealthy when when it causes someone to control or lash out at you. This means getting upset when you text or hang out with people that they feel threatened by. Um, Wrongly accusing you of flirting or cheating or even going so far as to stalk you. Possessiveness is as often accused as being overprotective or having really strong feelings for someone. So, that's kind of hard, sometimes when they feel that they have to control and rule you because they're afraid somebody's going to take you from them. And that, it's natural to have those feelings. And, especially if you have prior feelings, there's nothing, wrong with, I mean, you just it's an unhealthy relationship when you feel that, it's, when it's really, when they're really wanting to watch every move that you make to make sure that you're not gonna, move to somebody else. And you as a human being have the right to be with whoever you want to be with. You don't have to be forced into or coerced into something that you don't feel is healthy for you or something. It's just what it is. So, sometimes when we get in when it's possessive and it's controlling, it's kind of hard, to say you want to put the blame on you that you're the problem. But sometimes when they're possessive and controlling, they just don't. It's sometimes you have to know what's right for you and what you once you determine what's right for you, you have to figure out what's safe for you to get away from that situation. As it moves on to our next segment, which is manipulation. When someone tries to control what decisions, actions, or emotions you feel, that's a big red flag. And manipulation is often hard to spot, because it can be expressed in subtle or passive aggressive ways. You're being manipulated if someone is trying to convince you to do things that you don't feel comfortable doing. Ignores you until they get their way or tries to influence your feelings. I've experienced this. I just now realize I experienced this. So that's a big, that should be a sign that that relationship is unhealthy. And when it does, it puts you in a really uncomfortable spot to, work with that person and feel like you owe something to them all the time, and you owe them to what you feel is needed to be owed to them, and you really don't owe them anything. It took me a long time to realize that you don't have to give in to their needs and their demands. You can stand up and say no. You can stand up and say hit that block button. They can continue to text you, block you, whatever, call you, but as long as you hit that block button, hopefully they'll respect it and not work around it. But it's just something to keep in mind that people do want to get what they want, and if they use you, that's a way of using you, so to speak. And you don't want that in a relationship. It's not healthy. It's just not healthy. Next one is isolation. When someone keeps you away from friends or family, or other people, this behavior starts slowly with someone asking you to spend more one-on-one time with them, but later it escalates to demands that you don't see certain people. Often they will ask you to choose between them and your friends, insist that you spend all your time with them, and make questions about your own judgment with friends and family. If you are experiencing isolation, you may feel like you're dependent on your partner for love, money, and acceptance. You as a human being should have the right to be who you are, and have the right to have your own money, your own love, and your own acceptance in the world, believe it or not. The next one is sabotage. When someone purposely ruins your reputation, achievements, or success. Sabotage includes keeping you from doing things that are important to you. Behaviors like talking behind your back, starting rumors, or threatening to share private information about you. This is also known as sabotage. Belittling. When somebody does something and says to make you feel bad about yourself. This includes name calling, making rude remarks about people you're close with, or criticizing you, including your body shaming and so forth. It is also belittling when someone makes fun of you in a way that makes you feel bad, even if it's played off as a joke. Over time, you can lose confidence in yourself, and this is something as autistics that we have to be aware of more cognizantly than other things. So sometimes we take things literally, and sometimes it's meant as a joke, and sometimes, well, the joke is all intended to be well. It can be hurting to us, and we have to be mindful, of how that inner dialogue is used. Guilting. When someone makes you feel responsible for their actions or makes you feel like it's your job to keep them happy, they may blame you for things that are out of your control and make you feel bad for them. This includes threatening to hurt themselves or others, or you don't or didn't don't do as they say to stay with them. That might also pressure you to do something that you're not comfortable with by claiming it's important to them, or that their feelings will be hurt if you don't do it, or that they're maybe they're feeling a little that they feel like an idiot, or they say hurtful things about themselves, that and they make you want to feel bad. But sometimes you have to realize that sometimes things, even if they are unhealthy, you have to realize what's healthy for you. Validity. When someone tries to have a really strong, unpredictable reaction to make you feel scared, confused, or imitated, and imitated. A volatile person can make you feel you need to walk on eggshells around them, or they will have extreme reactions to small things. Your relationship with them may feel like a roller coaster that contains extremes, ups and downs. They may overreact to small things, have major mood swings, or lose control by getting violent, yelling, or threatening you. One thing I want to add about that is that sometimes we have to be cognizant that if we're individuals together who are living with challenges due to neurological or mental health, we have to be sure that we're medicating and taking care of ourselves well, because part of that could be a mental health diagnosis or a mental health issue that is not being taken care of seriously, is not being addressed, is not getting the proper care, so on and so forth. So that's very important to know. Deflecting responsibility is the next one. When someone repeatedly makes excuses for their unhealthy behavior, they keep saying they're sorry. They keep saying they're going to do it. They may blame you or other people for their own actions. Often this makes making excuses based on alcohol or drug use, mental health issues, or past experience, like a cheating ex or divorced parents. When they keep making excuses and then they revolve around the cycle, and they keep passing it off as something else, that's kind of a red flag. The last one is betrayal. When someone acts in an inherent dishonest way, they may act like a different person around other people or share private information about you to others. That it may also include lying, purposely leaving you, or being two-faced, or cheating on you. So those are just some of the things you have to be mindful of in a relationship when it comes to those are some signs. I shared some toxic signs in the beginning, and I shared some unhealthy signs in the other half about what those are some red flags, that the relationship may not work out. And it's okay to leave, just as long as you leave safely and on your own terms, that it's and you can feel better if the relationship is making you very stressed and very on edge. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. So you need to really work on what a healthy balance is. You also need to communicate what those boundaries are, so that they're not crushed or kept being trampled over. And you know, you need to stand your ground about keeping your boundaries. If that boundary is broken, if you need to build that fortress around you, you need to continue to keep that fortress up, not let it down. So with that being said, I'm going to thank you for listening. Just as always, make sure to like this video or dislike, whatever you choose. Be sure to tap that notification bell up in the top corner for more videos as they come in. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so already. I'm on Pinterest and TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty ASD. This vlog is also streamed as a podcast on many platforms, including Spotify, for your viewing and listening pleasure. And there are blog posts posted every week as well. So I'm going to thank you for listening. And remember, don't be fabulous, be fierce. Have a good day, everyone.